What's going on, survivors? Survival tactic. This one is specifically catered to one of my subscribers called Kawahu. And he asked a very important question. If you live in the countryside or the rural areas, because it is a prime target of these elites, because you actually have rulership over your own life, you can plant marijuana in your backyard if you want, because you're out in the middle of butt-fuck nowhere. Okay? Straight country bunking land. Nobody from the city wants to come here unless it's quiet, quiet time. Me, I love the country. I'm from New York City originally. Right now I'm in Florida. I love the country. I love the quiet. I love the land. I love the atmosphere. Typically, the country always has great weather compared to the cities because of weather manipulation, like what we see going on right now. Now, I know you've seen that I just woke up and it was blazing hot sun. Now, all of a sudden, it's so-called rain clouds over here. That's not Florida weather. Back to the subject at hand. Kawahu asks, should he move out of his area in North Cali? Well, this relates to a survival tactic. Always have multiple escape routes. Always. You cannot rely on one escape route, because when that one escape route is blocked, what you gonna do then? When your only way to exit is blocked, what will you do then? Fight for your life? Become a hostage? Do you want to place yourself in a situation that would put you and your family in a predicament to where you would have to risk your own life or the lives of those around you? So always have multiple escape routes. Now, I'm not in a rural area. I'm in Miami, Florida right now. You can fucking hear the sirens behind me. Listen to that shit. So-called fire rescue. I ain't hear about a fire yet in this bitch. But anyway, I am in Miami right now. So, I'm not in a rural area. I'm not in a countryside area. So, I'm in a strategic disadvantage because I am living in a major city right now. Not really living in, but I'm here at the moment. I stay on the go. I live in my truck, so. But statistically speaking, from a logical standpoint of survival, I am at a point of disadvantage because I am living in Miami right now. My location is Miami right now. If you live in a rural area or the countryside, your advantage is you pretty much can take control of your terrain. You pretty much can dictate what goes on in your land, in your neck of the woods, because nobody's gonna go over there. Most people don't want to go over there. They're brainwashed by the Instagram world. They're brainwashed by what the media tells them. They're so busy trying to pretend that they're celebrities that they don't even understand what's going on as far as the current state of the economy and this war that's literally hovering over our heads. The countryside is a very strategic area to plan out your fortress, to plan out your survival. This is another reason why all those that live in those areas will be first on the list. Because you're the hardest to get rid of. You're the one that is gonna take more self-pride in being self-sufficient. You're gonna take more, you're gonna be quick to action when someone tries to affect your way of living in your area or terrain. You'll take action quickly. In fact, with most state laws, once you live outside of the city limits, you can hold rifles, shotguns, all type of things. You're able to equip yourself with all sorts of weaponry when you live outside of the city limits. Because see, what they're really afraid of when it comes to people having weapons, or at least before they was trying to get rid of your pew-pews agenda, what they truly were afraid of is you being in a place that has nothing but money all around you. Let's use Miami as an example. You being in a place like Miami, and there's literally hundreds of thousands of dollars all around you. Their fear is you having an automatic rifle with these hundreds of thousands of dollars just sitting around you. So if anybody gets any funny ideas, they can just go on a tax collection spree. They can begin to start collecting taxes for themselves. The organization of government being themselves, self-governed. They can begin to collect taxes, if you get my drift. That was their biggest fear of people having weapons in these cities where all this business is, meaning all this money is, where all these people are. So, most places outside of the city limits, you can have whatever weaponry you want. So you will be a major target. And since you will be a major target because you live in the countryside, you have to take action. So if you are like Oahu and you live in a rural area or a countryside area, more of a forest, dirt road, things of that nature. If that is your terrain, you have a lot of advantages and disadvantages. Your main disadvantage is the government knows that you have the ability to build a true fortress. So always keep that in mind. Your advantages are plentiful. You have the complete control to do what you want with your terrain. So, if the survival tactic for today is always have multiple escape routes, the countryside is the place to be for this. What you are to do is to create multiple forms of escape. Now, because you live in a rural area in the countryside, you can even go as far as to dig escape routes. You can have one that's built under your... Let's talk about your house layout. Let's say if in your living room you have a wooden floor and it has tiles on it. You can begin construction, rip up that tile, break open that wooden floor, and begin to dig a route that leads to vital locations such as a part of the major city that you're close to, a part that's close to a local store, grocery store, a part that's close to a major resource such as power lines, such as this, cell towers, things that you may be able to reroute and create your own form of intelligence and technology. You can dig the layout to lead to or near a water source, like a river, a pond, the ocean, depending on how you're located in your rural area. You can have multiple forms of escape when you live in a rural area. That is your major advantage when it comes to the SHTF. When this all goes down, when the people are caught off guard. This is a major thing that you can do that will ensure the survival of yourself and your family. If I lived in the countryside, if I owned a house on the countryside in a rural area, this would be something that I would do. I know that most people are stuck looking down on what's in front of them, such as a cell phone, like I'm doing now. People don't look up to the sky as much as they used to when they said that the signs would be in the sky. So if they're living right here on the surface, and they won't even look up, I can guarantee you that at least 92% of the population will not look down. So underground is your best bet. Why do you think these so-called elites are all going underground into these bunkers, into these fallout shelters? What is that? That is multiple forms of an escape route. You have to do the same thing. That is their way of ensuring survival. So this is your way of ensuring survival. You have to make it to where you have multiple escape routes. That is a major survival tactic. That might be the most important survival tactic than any other one that I've given on this channel, simply because it's one of the major things that would be immediate as soon as the shit hits the fan. As soon as these banks go down, as soon as these water supplies go down, as soon as shortages hit a level to where everything is rationed, gas is rationed, food is rationed, your escape routes will be activated immediately. Immediately. So plan your escape routes accordingly. And if you live in an area like Kauahu, which is in North Cali, I'm thinking a lot of vegetation, a lot of forest. Dig. Dig, 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 dig. Literally all you need is a shovel. That is cheap as hell. You can literally borrow a shovel. You can literally find a shovel somewhere. Dig. Create underground escape routes. I'm gonna give you further updates for survival tactics, but this one is for one of my subscribers. He proposed a very good question, so I wanted to give a full video response as well as the reply that I gave back to him. So remember that, buddy, man. Have your escape routes, and I would say dig. Dig, man.